Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel. This is Miguel with season 2 of how to combine the DC deck building sets, and this is our 12th deck profile for the season. In this episode we'll be covering Crisis Expansion 5, Dark Knight's Death Metal. This Crisis expansion introduces us to 2 setup cards and Impossible Mode, the Batman Who Laughs. It reads, after you resolve the reward on a supervillain, gain 2 weakness cards. Destroy a card with cost 5 or greater you control, and rescue a captured character. If at any time there are no captured characters, the top card of the unused character stack is immediately captured. Weakness cards lose all abilities. Weakness cards must be played before other non-weakness cards or ending your turn. If you control 2 or more weakness cards, put 1 in your score pile and return the rest to their stack. One of your characters is captured and your turn ends. In this setup, your oversized characters include Crisis Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, Hawkgirl, Swamp Thing, Wally West, Nightwing, and Harley Quinn. Any unused oversized characters are placed face down next to the Batman Who Laughs. The supervillains for this set include the Court of Owls, Baphomet, the Batman Who Frags, Batmage, B-Rex, Baby Batman, Castle Bat, Dark Father, the Mind Hunter, the Robin King, Crisis the Darkest Night, and Barbatos. These supervillains also have rewards instead of entering your deck. After resolving the reward, the card goes directly into your score pile. The Crisis cards for this set are placed into the main deck. Refer to the rulebook if you want to include them into your games. The keyword for this set is metal. Metal is a subtype that can be identified by the foil treatment on certain cards. Just like Unity, metal is considered a subtype. For the theme of the main deck, we're going to focus on Dark Knight's Metal and Death Metal storylines. For availability, we're pulling from the original set through Arkham Asylum, Rivals 1 through 4, Crisis 1 through 5, Crossover Pack 1 through 10, and Crossover Crisis 1. For consistency, the main deck will be at 100 cards with 24 heroes, villains, equipment, and superpowers with 4 locations. The Crisis main deck will be at 30 cards, 7 heroes, 8 villains, 7 equipment, 6 superpowers, and 2 locations. And now the deck profile. At cost 1, we have doubles of Arsenal. Arsenal reduces the cost of supervillains by 2 for the turn and can be combined with Green Arrow's bow to further reduce the cost. At cost 2, we have doubles of Detective Chimp. Detective Chimp scouts the top 3 cards of your deck and discards any undesirable cards you don't want to draw into. At cost 3, we have doubles of Robin, Aqualad, Plastic Man, and Steel. Robin supports equipment builds by recovering any equipment card in your discard pile. He can be combined with Electrum to recover 1 more card. Aqualad can set up your next draw by discarding himself to put a card with cost 5 or less on top of your deck. Plastic Man works best in decks that reliably play a variety of card types, turning +2 power into a much stronger payoff of +4 power. Steel works best in equipment and metal focused strategies, increasing in power while also drawing a card to extend your plays. At cost 4, we have doubles of Swamp Thing and Kendra Saunders. Swamp Thing works in location-heavy strategies by providing large power boosts. Kendra Saunders supports villain and metal builds with additional +1 power generation. At cost 5, we have single copies of Emerald Knight, The Fastest Man Alive, King of Atlantis, Hawk Girl, with doubles of Cyborg 1 million. Emerald Knight extends your turns by letting you play a non-villain or location from the lineup, though you can't buy it afterward. The Fastest Man Alive is a standard draw 2 cards with no drawbacks. King of Atlantis helps improve deck consistency by removing unwanted cards from your discard pile before they cycle back into your deck. Hawk Girl provides both power and card destruction, making her useful for improving deck quality throughout the game. Cyborg 1 million supports equipment and superpower and metal builds with additional +2 power generation. At cost 6, we have a single copy of Dr. Fate. Dr. Fate can set up future turns by placing all cards that you bought or gained on top of your deck. In the mid to late game, Dr. Fate can even set up full hands. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman either expands your team of oversized characters or extends your turn through card draw. For villains, at cost 2, we have doubles of Deadshot. Deadshot can disrupt opponents throughout the game, becoming more effective as their decks improve, and they become more likely to discard useful cards from the top of their deck. At cost 3, we have doubles of Poison Ivy, the Riddler, Jervis Tetch, and Black Manta. Poison Ivy can disrupt opponents while filling their decks with weaknesses, making her a strong source of early game pressure. The Riddler can let you gain cards from the top of the main deck at the cost of 3 power per card. Jervis Tetch helps improve deck consistency by destroying or discarding unwanted cards from the top of your deck to improve your draws. Black Manta supports equipment builds by thinning out your deck. At cost 4, we have doubles of Killer Croc, Deathstroke, and Lady Blackhawk. Killer Croc supports villain builds with +3 power generation. Deathstroke is a reliable defense card that can also remove weaknesses or other unwanted cards. Lady Blackhawk supports heroes and metal builds with additional +1 generation. At cost 5, we have doubles of Court of Owls and Onimar Sin. Court of Owls have the standard effect of +1 power and draw a card, and targets the large number of metal cards in this deck with their attack. Onimar Sin is a straightforward +3 power card supporting villain and metal strategies. At cost 6, we have single copies of Saranic Natu and Black Adam. Saranic Natu is a great defense card because she can draw 2 cards and have the option to destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. Black Adam is another great defense card because he can draw a card and counter the player that attacked by giving them a weakness. At cost 7, we have single copies of Starro and Carter Hall. Starro extends your turns by letting you play each non-location from the top of each player's deck through its attack, giving you access to up to 3 extra cards. Carter Hall gives every foe a weakness directly into their hands with his attack, making him extremely dangerous. For equipment, at cost 2, we have doubles of Promethium. Promethium is here to support equipment and metal builds by giving a simple and reliable boost in power. At cost 3, we have doubles of Nth Metal, Helmet of Fate, Electrum, and Phantom Zone Projector. Nth Metal helps improve deck consistency by having the option to destroy unwanted cards from the top of your deck to improve your draws. Helmet of Fate can mulligan unwanted cards when defending, letting you draw a card for each one discarded besides itself. Electrum supports hero, villain, and metal builds by recovering key cards from your discard pile to extend your turns. Phantom Zone Projector is a standard defense card that can thin out your deck out of undesirable cards like weaknesses. At cost 4, we have doubles of Green Arrow's Bow, Carter Hall's Journal, and Dionysium. Green Arrow's Bow reduces the cost of supervillains by 2 for the turn and can be combined with Arsenal to further reduce the cost for a total of -4. With the +2 power Green Arrow's Bow already provides, the supervillain will be at -6 if your target is the Nemesis stack. Carter Hall's Journal helps set up future plays while also becoming a strong endgame VP card depending on how many metal cards you control. Dionysium supports superpower and metal builds, helping destroy undesirable cards. At cost 5, we have doubles of Kryptonite and Batmanium. Kryptonite is a well-designed attack card that can give out weaknesses without completely overwhelming players already loaded with them, as long as they discard one from their hand. Batmanium rewards decks that collect high VP cards. It can even reveal another copy of itself since Batmanium is worth 4 VP. At cost 7, we have a single copy of Mind Control Hat. Mind Control Hat has the standard draw 2 cards plus attack that can discard a random card from each foe. It can also be combined with Jervis Tetch in order to play all heroes and villains from the lineup. At cost 8, we have a single copy of 8th Metal Sunblade. 8th Metal Sunblade is a strong comeback or snowball card because it can potentially draw up to 4 cards if your deck is built around multiple card types. If you reveal a metal card, it only counts as either its card type or subtype, not both. At cost 9, we have a single copy of Nth Metal Mace. Nth Metal Mace is the strongest card from this set because it gives +4 power, extends your turn as a defense card, and destroys weaknesses directly from your hand when defending. At cost 10, we have a single copy of Element X. Element X is a strong endgame VP card if you can keep the weaknesses out of your deck, while also providing +5 power. For superpowers, at cost 2, we have doubles of Flight. Flight is a low-cost defense card that can recover a card and place it on top of your deck when defending. At cost 3, we have doubles of X-Ray Vision, Power of the Green, Telepathy, and Speed Force. X-Ray Vision gives a player access to the top of foes' decks in order to play a non-location card from any deck. Power of the Green supports location builds by putting locations into play and provides a boost in power for controlling them. Telepathy is a strong draw engine because it lets you cycle unwanted cards into new card draws. Speed Force is an early game excellent defense card because it can recover multiple punches for extra power. In the mid to late game, it can also recover weaknesses you want to destroy with other card effects. At cost 4, we have doubles of Bulletproof, Energy Absorption, and Construct Jet. Bulletproof is a standard defense card that can refill your hand by 1 and give you the option to destroy a card in your discard pile. Energy Absorption provides both draw and card destruction, making it useful for improving your deck throughout the game. Construct Jet refreshes the lineup, helping to cycle out undesirable cards. At cost 5, we have doubles of Ink Portal and Mecha Construct. Ink Portal gives you access to more oversized characters throughout the game or acts as a standard boost in power. Mecha Construct provides draw support on turns where you can buy 2 cards minimum. At cost 6, we have single copies of Heat Vision and Mystic Bolts. Heat Vision is a standard destroy card that can thin out your deck out of undesirable cards to not draw into them throughout the game. Mystic Bolts lets you recover up to 2 cards with cost 5 or less and different costs from your discard pile to reuse previous effects. At cost 7, we have singles of Impervious and Willpower. Impervious is a great reveal to defend card because it can get rid of multiple undesirable cards, especially weaknesses in a single turn. Willpower is another strong reveal to defend card because it cycles through your deck repeatedly, helping you recycle undesirable cards before they ruin your turn. For locations, at cost 5, we have singles of Challenger Mountain, The Dark Multiverse, Oblivion Bar, and Tomb of Hath-Set. Challenger Mountain is a draw engine for metal builds. Just make sure your deck is set up properly because playing 2 weaknesses is extremely punishing. The Dark Multiverse is a recovery engine as long as you have a starter or weakness in your discard pile. Recover punches for extra power and weaknesses you plan to destroy later. Oblivion Bar acts as your defense engine, though it can leave you vulnerable if you cannot refill your hand afterward. Tomb of Hath-Set is your mulligan engine on turn with hands clogged with undesirable cards. Now for the Crisis main deck. For heroes, we have single copies of Black Lantern Arsenal, Black Lantern Jonah Hex, Raven, Starfire, Jay Garrick, Jarro, and Mr. Miracle. Black Lantern Arsenal provides both card draw and power while rewarding weakness-focused strategies. If you can play a weakness consistently, it becomes a reliable way to gain additional villains from any lineup. Black Lantern Jonah Hex provides solid power and can be sacrificed to support teammates by helping them recover important cards from their discard piles. Raven combines power, team support, and a defense in a single turn. She can help your team cycle through their decks while also providing opportunities for card destruction. Starfire gives players flexibility by either contributing towards defeating a crisis or generating a respectable amount of power with no contribution needed. Jay Garrick supports the entire team through card draw while rewarding players for discarding cards, making him effective with players that like their cards being discarded. Jarro provides flexible card game by allowing you to place a card on any player's deck, making it useful to set up your own turns or helping a teammate. His defense effect can also generate significant value by reusing rewards from cards in your score pile. Mr. Miracle provides +3 power while also serving as a team-wide defense, allowing him to protect multiple players from a single attack. For villains, we have single copies of Batum, Raven, Para Robbins, Black Monday, Batmobeast, Quietus, Joker Dragon, and The Last Sun. Each one will have an ambush attack and reward effect to resolve. Ambush attacks trigger whenever a card with an ambush attack enters the lineup, attacking each player. Ambush attacks are considered attacks that can be avoided with defense cards. If you play a card with an ambush attack, its ambush effect does not trigger. Remember that villains added from the Crisis main deck also resolve their ambush attack when they enter the lineup. Whenever you buy or gain a villain from any lineup, place it into your score pile instead of your discard pile and immediately resolve its reward effect, if it has one. Cards in your score pile are not part of your deck. Villains gained from other zones go into your discard pile as normal, unless they have a reward ability, in which case they go into your score pile and resolve the reward. For equipment, we have single copies of Chainsaw of Truth, Black Lantern Power Ring, Cloak of Erasure, with doubles of Bat Cycle, and Alfred Box. Chainsaw of Truth reduces the cost of villains and supervillains by 3 while providing +3 power, making it a strong pickup alongside Arsenal and /or Green Arrow's bow. Black Lantern Power Ring can help recycle cards from the destroyed pile by distributing them to players who can make the best use of them. This makes it valuable in team games where players can coordinate their resources. Cloak of Erasure combines solid power generation with optional card draw while also serving as a reusable ongoing defense, allowing it to provide value throughout the game. Bat Cycle rewards weakness-focused strategies by turning weaknesses into access to additional cards from the lineup, while also removing those cards from circulation. Alfred Box provides both power and recursion, allowing you to replay important cards from your discard pile. The Destruction Clause can also be used to trigger effects that benefit from cards being destroyed. For superpowers, we have single copies of Call Upon the Multiverse, Godly Ascension, with doubles of Reverse Polarity and Astral Assault. Call Upon the Multiverse provides card gain while also helping a teammate by giving them access to a card from the lineup, making it a strong support card in team-based games. Godly Ascension can cycle back into your deck, allowing it to provide value over multiple turns and making it easier to draw again later in the game. Reverse Polarity combines power and card draw while giving you the opportunity to benefit from rewards you have already earned in your score pile. Astral Assault provides both power and card draw while helping another player destroy a card from their hand or score pile, making it useful for supporting teammates who want additional destruction effects. For locations, we have single copies of Hall of Doom and Crypt of Heroes. Hall of Doom rewards villain-focused strategies by allowing you to quickly recycle villains from your score pile, making it easier to replay key cards and maintain momentum throughout the game. Crypt of Heroes provides access to cards in the destroyed pile, allowing you to recover useful cards for yourself support a teammate, or contribute towards defeating a crisis. Its flexibility makes it valuable in a variety of situations. In closing, that's just one way to combine the DC deck building sets. Remember, there's no single correct way to build your main deck. These videos are here to inspire ideas and start conversations. What would you change? Do you want Crisis expansions to coincide with the base sets? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all the YouTube things. I'll see you on the next one.